The Only TV Preacher I Trust. A Look at Father Brown by Therese. Read by T.K. Wilson. As a Christian who consumes a lot of secular media, I can get a little frustrated. As aptly pointed out by Lutheran satire creator Hans Feeney in a recent video, it seems that every third episode of such shows as Law & Order Special Victims Unit, the villain is some kind of fundamentalist preacher. A memorable two-part episode of The Blacklist features a polygamist cult led by a charismatic, Bible-brandishing, end-times prophesying pastor, and let's not even get started on Judge Claude Frollo from Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame belting out a song about lust that begins with a self-righteous prayer. There is a note that I will read at the end of the article. It seems that hypocrites abound in fiction, leaving Christ followers looking like either a bunch of crazies or just naive fools. But there is one man that has stood the test of time, a perennial favorite of even the most skeptical that has given Christians hope for nearly 100 years. His name? Father Brown. Created by apologist G.K. Chesterton, Father Brown is the modest and unassuming Catholic priest who often finds himself up to his collar in crime. Utilizing his keen powers of observation and knack for reading people, Brown aids the police in their investigations. People will talk to him when they won't talk to a police officer. Father takes his responsibility very seriously and treats all he meets with kindness and care. The biggest priority for the priest is the state of someone's soul. He believes that no one is beyond salvation and sees their soul first and foremost. In the episode of the 2013 TV series, The Bride of Christ, it is this concern that drives the plot. Father Brown is witness to not one but two poisonings and eventually deduces the identity of the murderer, a heartbroken young woman with a secret. Through his investigations, he exposes the abuse in the Magdalene laundry system and is able to set the mind of the perpetrator at ease. Furthermore, every time Father Brown comes across a dead body, which is more often than you'd think, even for a priest, his first step is to pull out his stole and say a prayer for the soul of the departed, whether Catholic or not. Father Brown won't even give up on his most ardent foe. A man named Flambeau, a thief of religious relics, frequently locks horns with the father, the Moriarty to his Sherlock. Flambeau steals these relics, it seems, to get revenge against a church that hurt him. Brown sees this lashing out much like a parent would see a child's tantrum, as an irrational response to hurt. Brown wants to help Flambeau in the worst way and help heal those wounded parts of his heart. Whether Flambeau will take advantage of Brown's kindness remains to be seen by our faithful correspondent. I have not yet seen the entire series. Father Brown doesn't just run into the criminal types on his adventures. He is always accompanied by a variety of friends. First is Lady Felicia, a beautiful noblewoman with a nose for adventure, Susie, a shy immigrant from Poland, Mrs. McCarthy, the good-natured but crotchety parish secretary, and Sid, a young lad who becomes Father's partner in solving crime. Each of these characters has some secret hurt they're hiding, and it's the Father's compassion that brings them to light in some fashion. In that light, Father Brown delivers a healing touch, often with a dash of humor to help medicine go down. I titled this article, The Only TV Preacher I Trust, for a reason. I find that many times TV pastors and preachers come off as fake. Maybe they don't preach the health and wealth gospel, or act in some way contrary to their calling, but I find them cold and impersonal. There's exceptions, of course, like Papa Chuck Swindoll, but on the whole, I can't say I'm impressed with a great many of them. Then there's characters like Father Brown, and to be fair, Shepherd Book from Firefly, who strike me. These men aren't strangers, they're my friends, more like local pastors than anything else. This, of course, is a credit to the actors for being masters of their craft and the writers for breathing life into these characters. There's a reason Father Brown has endured. People want to believe that there are good men hiding in unassuming places, brilliant minds hiding in plain clothes, faithful men who mean what they say on Sunday morning. We want to see that goodness and hope win out, that evil will be punished and the innocent avenged. It's characters like Father Brown that remind us it's possible. Now for the note from earlier. In Hunchback's defense, it is only Frollo who is condemned as a sinner and a hypocrite, never ever the church, represented by the kind and compassionate archdeacon. In this way, Disney did the Christian church as a whole a great service in a time of turmoil for the Catholic Church in particular.